So, the government released the redacted affidavit for the FBI's raid on Donald Trump's home, and guess what it looked like? It looked just like Hunter Biden's house on the weekends. Lots of white lines. It looks like a set of stairs that Joe Biden couldn't climb. It doesn't look good. 18 pages of redactions in a 32-page document. You didn't find out much, and there was certainly no criminal evidence inside of this document, not even the slightest hint that Donald Trump had done anything wrong. This looks like a screed of an angry, blue-haired lesbian librarian, childless and bitter and angry that Donald Trump became president because Orange Man bad. And so you have a redacted document that has been released. This means absolutely nothing as it pertains to the document itself. We have copies of the document right here. You want to know what it all looks like? This. There you go. That's the doc. There you go. Looks just like that. That's what we were counting on. This is the look of the redacted document. However, and this is where it gets very interesting, you don't have a case. You see, you have done it. You've done too far. And Joe Biden knows it. Joe Biden was at the White House, and he himself was saying that he, keeps a lot of classified documents to himself at his own home. Watch.
Mr. President, in simple terms, is it ever appropriate for a president to take home with them classified and top secret documents?
Depending on the circumstance. For example, I have in my home a cabined off space that is completely secure. I'm taking home with me today today's PDD. It's locked. I have a person with me, military with me. I read it, I lock it back up, and give it to the military.
Without a specialized...
But now we have the most important crux of the case, which is how on earth was this legal? How can the professional bureaucrat class order a raid on a former president for documents that he has every damn right to own, or a fishing expedition at worst? That's at best. At worst, you have a fishing expedition in order to seize documents that were declassified by Donald Trump about the Russiagate scandal, and that's what we've heard so much about. Kash Patel saying so on this show, and also you have a situation where Donald Trump himself is claiming that his Fourth Amendment rights were violated. All of these things are going to be litigated. Right now we have Mike Davis. Mike Davis is the former legal advisor to Chuck Grassley in the Senate. Mike Davis has worked inside of the White House, and Mike Davis has worked for multiple administrations. He was on Fox News earlier stating that there is no way that Biden wins this case, that this is an absolute and total abuse of power, and it was an absolute flamethrower goblin mode interview. We thought we'd play it for you in all of its glory right now. Get your piping hot tea ready, because this one's a burner.
What we still do not know much about the why in terms of the urgency to conduct an unprecedented raid of a former president's home. Your thoughts?
Yeah, so this affidavit, heavily redacted affidavit, it further evidences that this home raid on President Trump was unprecedented, it was unnecessary, and it was unlawful. And again, what I've been saying since August 8th, the president has the absolute constitutional authority to declassify anything he wants for any reason he wants, and he doesn't have to get permission from any bureaucrat at the National Archives to do that. And that is confirmed by a 1988 Supreme Court case, Department of the Navy versus Egan. So there goes the underlying potential charge for espionage that's in this, that was in this warrant. Second point, the president has the sole statutory authority to make the determination whether a record is a personal record that belongs to him or a presidential record that goes to the bureaucrats at the National Archives and then almost certainly gets sent back to the president to put in his former library, or the former president's library. And that is confirmed by a 2012 decision by an Obama judge related to Judicial Watch and Tom Fenton's lawsuits against President Clinton related to 8 years of audio tapes in his sock drawer. So what is left? They're looking at obstruction. Well, it is legally impossible for a former president to obstruct investigations into non-crimes. The Justice Department did not have the power to even look at these crimes because it doesn't matter what the evidence shows in this affidavit, David. No matter what that evidence shows, as a matter of law, it is legally impossible for President Trump to have committed espionage or to have violated some Presidential Records Act. The Presidential Records Act actually contemplates that former presidents have classified records. It doesn't differentiate. Congress gives former presidents office space, secure office space. They give the former president's staff security clearances, Secret Service protection to guard these paper records. And there's no allegation that any of these records got into the wrong hands, unlike Hillary Clinton's home server, where she had foreign governments hack the most highly classified secrets in our government, and she didn't get an FBI raid. So what was so urgent that caused the Biden Justice Department to go get these records? And I think it's because President Trump declassified and made personal a copy of his copy of the Crossfire Hurricane records, the Russian collusion records, and the Biden Justice Department never made them public because they're so damning on Obama, Hillary Clinton, the FBI, and the intel community.
Yet we know that this unsealed affidavit did reveal 14 of the 15 boxes retrieved from the former president earlier this year did contain 184 documents with the classified markings. We learned of those documents, 67 were marked confidential, 92 were marked secret, 25 documents were marked top secret. So if the president was being, and if we were able to see a trail of that actually happening, it doesn't appear in this document, or at least it's redacted if it is in that document. If there is a trail of authorities asking on multiple occasions the president to turn over those documents, which they apparently knew were there, isn't that a problem, Mike? If the president had the opportunity to hand these documents over when asked.
The librarians are asking for overdue copies of the overdue books that are not overdue. The president has the legal right to declassify these records and keep a personal copy. They did. The former president had every right to keep these records, and the bureaucrats at the archives did not, as confirmed by the 1988 Supreme Court decision, Department of Navy versus Egan, and the 2012 Judicial Watch case against President Obama with the tapes in his sock drawer. They can demand them all they want. And the question you have to ask is, okay, so they're demanding these records, and Attorney General Merrick Garland leaked that he was deliberating for weeks on whether to order this home raid before he went to a biased judge, Bruce Reinhart, down in Florida, who just recused from President Trump's civil lawsuit versus Hillary Clinton because of his 2017 Facebook post where he bashed President Trump's integrity. So if he had weeks to deliberate, why didn't Attorney General Merrick Garland get an opinion from the Department of Justice's Office of Legal Counsel, or OLC? And the reason he didn't get it, presumably, is because he would not have gotten the answer he wanted. This was a political raid on a former president and someone who is almost certainly going to be
when you say presumably, do you know that to be the case?
Of President Biden.
When you say presumably, do you know that to be the case?
Presumably that he's going to run for president?
No, that there was a trail of him not wanting to ask because he wasn't going to get the answer that he wanted.
Well, I mean, why else would, if he had weeks to deliberate on something this unprecedented and consequential, why would he not seek an opinion from the Office of Legal Counsel on this? This is a political raid that was, and then they said that the Attorney General didn't personally authorize this raid. He absolutely did. They also said that the Biden White House was not involved with this raid. They absolutely were, because White House Deputy Counsel to the President, Jonathan Sue, had to relay that President Biden waived President Trump's assertion of executive privilege, which paved the way for this raid. And so President Biden was absolutely involved in this raid, and so were his officials in the Biden White House counsel's office, Jonathan Sue. This is a political hit on a former president.
All right, Mike.
Thank you for watching. Our channel is here to meme the libs until they cry, and then to meme them crying. Their tears taste like ice cream. We ridicule the establishment, and we do so because of you. Your support keeps us going. So if you liked what you saw, please click the thumbs up. Please punch, subscribe, and ring the bell to let you know when we have a new video. Don't you want us to let you know when we're live? Please check out more of our videos here and sign up for our mailing list in case something happens and the plug gets pulled. We want to be able to keep in touch with you. My name is Benny Johnson, and thank you for watching. Based Patriots, stay free.